Hello everyone and welcome to our Boost Your Holiday Sales webinar. My name is Zoe and I also have Brian here with me.
Hey, good afternoon everybody.
Your audio should be broadcast through your computer speaker, so make sure your volume is turned up. If you're having difficulty hearing me, no worries, there's a conference line available to the left-hand side in the chat. Speaking of the chat, we encourage you to ask any questions at any time during this presentation, and we will at the end have a Q&A section. We've got about 15 to 20 minutes here of really exciting information about email marketing, social media marketing, and events, all catered to boost your holiday sales. So if you do have any questions along the way, don't hesitate to type those into the chat.
All right, I am going to go ahead and kick us off here with a couple of stats. We're so excited to be doing this. It's been a while since we have done a webinar, and coming up on the holidays, Zoe and I were just talking about it, and it seemed like it was the right time to go ahead and jump back in. I apologize if you are hearing a noise behind me. We seem to be having a fire alarm in our building currently, so I do apologize for that, but we will try to continue. If it is unbearable for you, please put it in the chat, and we will try to pause the volume here. But again, I apologize, that is out of our control here right now. But anyway, so starting with a couple of statistics, which we like to do to sort of set the stage for the content that we're going to present and why this stuff matters to you as a small business.
So here on the left, I'll go ahead, I won't read these out to you, but you can see that even as a brick and mortar, regardless of whether or not you are selling product online, super important to have product information online. So, to be using the social media as well as email as well as your website, to have information available for people doing that holiday research. Looking up products, deciding what gifts to buy people, especially this time, really year round, but especially this time of year, a majority of people, are doing that research online. All right, and then on the right.
All right, I think our fire alarm is over as well, so that's great. So we're going to go ahead and switch back to the speaker here. All right, so also, over 50% of people are buying from a new retailer. So not only is this a perfect time of year to engage, your existing customer base, but to find new customers. By having, again, your brands, your offerings out on the web, you are actually going to be able to attract new people as well. And so we will give you some tips and actionable items to do that.
Exactly. So when we're talking about boosting your holiday sales, there are definitely many channels online to do that, but the online is where your customers are doing their research, and it's also where you're gaining those new customers. So we're really going to kick it off here with that first channel, which is going to be social media. And we really want to get more engagement on those great posts and that great content that you're doing. So for example, there's Facebook, there's Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram, but we want you, we know you're busy, you've got a lot going on, you're probably hiring more people for the holiday season and you're working with all your inventory. So how do you spend less time on social media but get more engagement? So what I'm going to encourage you to do on Facebook, a quick tip to boost those holiday sales is trying to boost your Facebook posts. So with Facebook posts, we are seeing a decrease in our organic reach. Just because there is so much content out there, there's no way that your post is going to reach the audience that you have, that they already like your page. So one way to make sure that more people are seeing your post is to boost your Facebook post. And this is really simple. You actually just go to your post, hit that boost button, and you're going to see to the left-hand side this kind of form that you fill out. And one thing that's great about this is we can pick between we want to boost this to our existing likes, or we can find new people to boost this to. So if you're brick and mortar, for example, you can actually type in your zip code and boost your post specifically to people within your zip code. And you can do this for as little as $2 a day. So it's not like we're saying, hey, go onto Facebook and pay $100 for a Facebook ad. Try boosting, here in this example, that's actually Brian and I did a boomerang trying to get you guys to come to this webinar today. But for $5, we had the opportunity to reach over 1,000 more people. So this is a great way to, go on Facebook, post something, and let it live on longer by boosting it. And it can be as little as $2 a day.
Absolutely. All right, our next social tip is relating to Instagram. So, a super popular social platform now. If you're not on Instagram yet, it really is time to think about it. There's a lot of cool things going on, and they do have business profiles now. They provide business analytics, and things that were lacking in the past. So it really is designed for businesses now and brands, and time to make that jump. So the one tip, and this sort of relates back to reaching those new customers, we talked about it's a great time of the year to do that. One of the ways you can achieve that is through hashtags on Instagram. So I would say especially if you are doing e-commerce, and have your website link in your bio, you're trying to push people over to sell, you must be doing extra hashtags on your Instagram posts. So we have a SnapRetail example here regarding our Tip Tuesday campaigns, which we've just started sending out these last couple weeks, free resources and tips for small businesses. So you can see, we have our regular caption at the top there, sort of talking about, what the photo is, all, regular kind of written content. Now, and then what you can do is add your own comment. So this doesn't actually have to be the caption. I know that's sort of a turnoff to see, maybe 20 hashtags in the caption itself. That kind of makes it very large, a little unseemly. So what you can do is you can go down, do your caption first, do the post, have it, all done, and then just go ahead and add a comment afterwards with the hashtags that you are trying to reach. So, we have some examples here. You can use your store name. Use that shop local or shop small. All of those hashtags do really well. Different gift ideas. So gifts for mom, or, holiday gifts, 12 days of Christmas, all of those sort of things around the holidays, or maybe your town or your city. So start using those hashtags, again, in the comment. The comment will sort of almost hide itself, or sort of, close itself, so it's not going to be this long, laundry list. But by including all of these hashtags, you are now going to show up in the search results for all these different, relevant terms. So it can really expand your reach and get you in front of new eyes that are looking for that shop local, or whatever that may be. So that's a great option. And then just a quick little note there is a limit of 30 tags. You don't need to do 30 tags on every post. If you're doing 10 or 15, that's excellent. But just in case you're really loving it, you don't want to hit more than 30 because it won't post.
Alrighty, and the last social channel we want to give you a quick tip for is Pinterest. So Pinterest is one of the most wonderful platforms to be on for the holiday season, especially if your audience is women over the age of 20. That is the main target audience on Pinterest. The greatest thing about Pinterest is that you have the opportunity, any image that you share on Pinterest, an image or a pin, it has a website source. And so if you're pinning your own products to your boards, for example, you have your holiday arrivals, or you have a board that's gifts under $50, it's dedicated to all of those products that you have, you can actually edit the pin so that it clicks through directly to your website. So that click-through traffic can send someone to the shopping cart where they can make that purchase. So whenever you're on Pinterest, you simply want to edit the pin, and then you're going to see the website section here. Absolutely, absolutely make sure that your website is posted there, as specific as that product listing, so that it can click directly through to where they can purchase it. Pinterest, again, I personally have my holiday wish list on every year, and that's what I send to my parents, which is kind of embarrassing, but it's an easy way of doing it. And I just, grab links from all over the web of all of my favorite things, or, from all of my favorite brands that I'm following, and I just pin my items that I want, and it makes it so easy for my mom. And I know I'm not the only one that does this, so it's a great way to be on Pinterest and make sure that you're getting that click-through traffic with that website link under the edit pin description.
All right, so our next section, we're going to go ahead and jump into email and talk about email marketing here for a little bit. So I'll go ahead and jump over. The first and really main point that we want to talk about is email list segmentation. So this is, not only, is email still proven to be one of the best ways to reach customers, one of the most direct and most effective ways to communicate with people online, but segmenting can just even, increase that and help you do even better. So you can see the stat there, when marketers are segmenting their lists, their open rates their deliverability, and their revenue is all going up. So these don't have to be complicated, segmentations. We're just talking about things as simple as, different locations. Maybe you are a tourist business, so you have some locals who buy from you, but then you also have people in different geographic areas. Target people based off of that. Is it items that you want to ship nationwide, or you don't want to ship? You can sort of segment your email list and actually target the products that you're promoting based off of that location. Purchase history, that is a huge one. If you have a POS system, where you can go in and say, okay, show me who has spent $100 in the last 60 days, or who hasn't purchased from me in the last 6 months, or whatever that criteria that you're thinking of. Go into your POS, generate a list, and then target an email to those people. Like I said, maybe it is going after those VIP customers that are purchasing from you, super regularly, and you want to extend a special offer to them. Or maybe you're even having a customer appreciation night only for VIPs, this holiday season, something like that. But also don't forget those customers that maybe have fallen off. Reaching out to them specifically, saying, hey, we missed you. Here's 20% off to come back in and buy another product. So definitely you can be segmenting off of that. And then a couple other thoughts. If the customer's preferred brands or what product or lines they're interested in. Or if you offer services or services in conjunction to products, what are they coming in for haircuts, or are they coming in to get their nails done? If you know that information, absolutely you can and should be segmenting your emails based off of that.
Yeah, one of my favorite segmentation lists based off of location. Huge snowstorm hit, and so they actually sent out a specific coupon to people who were in that certain location because they were online only, and they said, hey, it's your snow day, here's 20% off. So it was a great way for an online business to seem relevant in their customers' inbox. But yeah, you can't beat better open rates.
Right.
So our second tip here is going to be design with CTA or call to action buttons. So in email, once we get that open, because our list is segmented and we're doing a great job, we want to make sure that the purpose of the email is obvious, especially when we're here in this fourth quarter, everyone's busy, and there's a ton of email marketing happening. So whenever someone would open up an email for an open house, for example, we want to make it super obvious for them to click that RSVP now button. Or on this right-hand side, you can see this is a SnapRetail template, and we actually have that product widget in there where someone can buy directly in an email by clicking that Buy Now button. A great way of doing this, it can simply be an image, but I would recommend using a color from your template so that it sticks out. You can see both RSVP Now and Buy Now. It's something, that it's obvious. It's that call to action, and it's giving you, this is what I want you to do, and it's short and it's sweet. If you just have links within your text paragraph, saying, hey, you can check out our website here, or blah, 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 that's not as obvious as a color image with a short, brief call to action. And, just a quick little reminder over here, don't forget to send yourself a test email and also view that test email on mobile to see how that call to action button looks on a mobile device as well.
Absolutely, and just making sure it's big enough for the thumbs to click on and get through. I know that's a problem for me. All right, so we've given you a tip on who to send to, on the email design. Now our last tip for email is going to be on how to get people to open it. So that is all about the subject line. Stats really say that 35% of people choose whether or not to open that message based completely on the subject line, subject line alone. So it's huge. So a couple of tips here. The first thing you want to do is make it actionable. Use verbs, use words that are sort of setting the stage for what you want the customer to do. That just overall has better open rates. It sort of gives people a purpose with the subject line. So our example here is forward this wish list to your husband, which is great. So just something that people sort of right off the bat they understand the need. They ask and they can take action on it. Number two, definitely keep your subject line short. Really for mobile devices and to make sure it's fully displaying there, you want to be less than 32 characters. You certainly never want to be over 50 characters for really any inbox. So you can see, 5 gifts under $50, short and sweet. That's also intriguing me. What are the gifts? And all of that type of thing. But definitely keep it short. Number 3, try using emojis for sure. If you haven't done this, there's a lot of different websites you can go to and sort of see a listing of all the emojis that are available, and then go ahead and use those in your subject line. If you are a Snap customer or you're thinking of becoming a Snap subscriber, our system does support emojis, so you can just paste them right into the subject line box, and that will go out to your customers. And not only is it just sort of a personal, cool little touch to the subject line, but we have actually shown that sometimes that helps to avoid certain spam folders. The emojis sort of, throws it into the inbox because it almost like, not that we're giving you like dirty shortcuts, but it sort of trips the spam filter. It doesn't, know what to do with that emoji, so it goes ahead and allows it to go into the inbox. Specifically, we're sort of talking about Gmail and that promotions tab, that so many emails go into. So sometimes emojis will actually keep you out of that, which is excellent for your open rates. Number 4, make it personal. Use personalization, if at all possible, if you can use those tokens or tags. Different systems call them different things, but have the person's actual first name fill in. That's always a great thing. We used our friend Kelly here in this example. Stay in your PJs, Kelly, and shop online for Cyber Monday. So another very popular one is like a special offer, for Zoe or something like that. Often throwing the first name in there is a great way to get that open. And then lastly, share what's trending, sort of the pop culture references, holiday references, different things like that. This is a little Game of Thrones reference we've snuck in here because Zoe and I are both huge fans of Game of Thrones, so winter is coming, stay warm with these picks. But anyway, you can sort of showcase your brand, be humorous, be interesting. That's always going to boost those rates.
Yeah, so if Brian and I are your target audience, definitely do a Game of Thrones subject line. We're also in the chat right now. I'm pasting in a link to our 50 powerful holiday subject lines. This was a part of this week's Tips Tuesday. It's a free guide. It has 50 subject lines along the lines of these 5 tips. So just pasted that in there. Click on that link and download your free guide so that it's just a lot of inspiration for you to make sure that you're sending the best possible subject line. Yep. All right, so we talked a little bit about, a couple social tips to help boost those holiday sales, boosting, holiday sales by including a buy now button in email and getting better open rates, things along those lines. Our last section here is going to be talking about using events online and in-store to boost holiday sales and just kind of break up the monotony of all of these, promotions that are happening during the holiday season because the Q4 is obviously so heavy in, sale, 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 and buy, buy, buy. So one of the first things to ask yourself are, what are your opportunities that you do have and we want to take advantage of this holiday season? So there are things like, Black Friday and Small Business Saturday, Christmas Eve and Christmas. There's obviously an organic enthusiasm about them. You don't have to do any, individual branding here for Small Business Saturday because that's something that's it's already well known. So you want to piggyback off of that momentum and, coordinate your email and social efforts to make the most and continue to drive traffic to your stores on that date. There's also, just in-store events that you can be doing, like an open house, a ladies' night. I know that's huge with jewelers. They come in and they make their wish list, and then they take it home and say, husband, here I've done all the work for you with a ladies' night. And, what better way to provide awesome customer service in-store than with one of these events and have that, face-to-face communication. If you are an online-only store, too, though, you can still deliver that awesome customer service. Try using free shipping as an event. Maybe it's, during a certain amount of time, they can, use that free shipping, be a part of that free shipping event. Or you even offer, maybe it's you buy something you spend over $50 and you get a free gift. That's considered an event, too. It's anything that's going to push someone to make that purchase in-store that maybe they wouldn't because it's a little bit different. It's again, just breaking that monotony. So we've got a couple of just examples and ways to kind of use these events and boost your sales.
Absolutely. So, just because it's sort of a one-day event doesn't mean that there isn't build-up to that, which is, again, getting your business in front of your customers and maybe new customers. So, when you are, let's say, holding an open house, how do you get the word out there via social media and email marketing? What are those sort of points or tiers that you should be hitting. The first is a teaser. So, even a couple weeks in advance, be posting to social media, maybe a little sort of like a cryptic photo or something, here we're setting up for this night or we're getting ready. Send emails teasing the event. Get people excited about, like Zoe said, breaking up the monotony, something exciting for the holidays and this time of year, and something specific that, as a small business you can do and you can provide that these big box stores and, stuff like that are not able to match, just an unparalleled level of service and just unique opportunities. Number two, the invite. So the invite is super important, and you don't want to do the invite through only one avenue. So do an email invite. Be posting on social media. Maybe have a Facebook event for it so people can RSVP. Get the word out. Definitely, obviously have the dates and times. All that pertinent information. Have all the benefits. Everything that's going to be going on, and really attract people. Number three, the reminder. So this is going to be sort of your messaging maybe just a day or two before the actual event. This is sort of that last chance. Don't forget it's happening. And really, if it is sort of one of your big events of the year, I would do a reminder like maybe 2 days before and then even the morning of, or something like that. I don't think that's overkill if this is sort of your, the marquee event. And again, just sort of rehashing the details of the event and reminding people, use those sort of time-sensitive phrases to really get people excited. And then lastly, the recap. So, in the midst of all of these great holiday, things that happen, don't forget to snap some photos, talk to customers, and have some, some content ready to go afterwards. Because again, then you are, recapping to your whole email list what a great event it was. Again, all these cool services and unique things that you can offer as a small business. So make sure that you are showcasing all of those great aspects. So how to make these experiences, more engaging and again, sort of, very unique. Just a couple suggestions here. Having something like a cocoa bar and cookies, or refreshments. Maybe for that ladies' night, it's a wine night or something like that. But definitely have something, and added amenities, something to set it apart. Free gift wrapping is huge. That is actually a trigger for people to buy more, definitely, because it's like so easy, so convenient. It's going to be wrapped and ready to go for the family. So that can be huge, and that's something that you can do in brick and mortar or online. And then the last little tip here is signage. So a way to maybe make certain products more exciting or sort of jump off the shelf. We have these Pinterest cards or Pinterest tags that you can download for free, and I think Zoe's going to go ahead and drop that download into the chat. And so, for example, you could say, oh, here's our most pinned products. Maybe you choose like 10 products that are heavily pinned. Add that little tag on the shelf, and then that's going to draw people over. They're going to wonder what it is. People love Pinterest and they're very familiar. So, the fact that it is doing so well on Pinterest is sort of like credibility in the brick and mortar location as well. So, just again, any sort of ways that you can set yourself apart and create this unique experience for your customers.
Yeah, and it's an easy way to do a little bit more with your visual merchandising. Absolutely. If you are a brick and mortar, have an entire table where it's like these are our top 10 picks on Pinterest, and print out the free Pinterest cards that I just posted into the chat. So just brief examples of how to execute these events and follow up with email and with social is here a holiday open house. You can see obviously adorable cookies and cocoa bar, and then we've got some social posts in the middle. I love this one on the top. Santa and his team have been hard at work at our store, inviting you to the holiday open house. A teaser post or the actual invite. And then also using email templates to complement that. And along the same lines, Small Business Saturday, here are some SnapRetail templates that we have. All of those gray boxes are where you put your own images, so you convey your brand, but you're still piggybacking on this holiday that is known by all as Small Business Saturday. Same for, Black Friday or Cyber Monday. And then, of course, we had to share a photo of a dog because we love dogs here. This is like one of those photos that you can really recap with that, keeps that event. It's not just, oh, the event's over, we're done. No, keep making that event live on through your social media and email marketing. Make people feel a little bad that they missed out so that they want to be a part of the fun the next time it comes around. Or, they can get a part of the fun by just liking and commenting. It's going to help your engagement too. So you can really drive sales through these events because, you're going to create that enthusiasm and that excitement that gets people paying more attention. And it's a great way to communicate with your customers without just saying, here's a product, here's a product, here's a product, here's a product. It's a more unique, more engaging way to do that.
Definitely. All right, well, we're a couple minutes over here, but
not too bad.
not too bad. And if you've been on with Zoe and I before, you know we always like to finish with sort of a summary slide. Give you some real actionable tips to walk away with and try. So here we have our 3 categories: the social, email, and events, and we have sort of those main tips under each one. So for social, really try a boosted post. If you've never done that, like Zoe said, spend $5 and just try it. You will probably reach 1,000 people, of your followers, or new people if you target that way, and really try that. Definitely use hashtags on Instagram. Or if you're not using Instagram at all, give it a shot. Go ahead and create the business profile. It's really time to do that. And make sure your pins have links. So again, the best thing about Pinterest is that all of those pins click back to their source. So, if it's e-commerce, absolutely it should be a link right back to the buy page. If you're just brick and mortar, it should be a link to your store's, website or your info, so people know how to contact you and where to find that product. For email, try segmentation, whether it is based on purchase details, geographic location, brand interest, whatever info you have. Definitely try some segmentation and see how that affects your open rates. Design those emails with a call to action button. So, always or at least a clear call to action, even if it is like a typed link. Make sure that the content is sort of leading to this obvious point, and then it's a very large, clear, ask. What do you want them to do? What action do you want them to take? And buttons really are best. And actually, within Snap, we do have buttons available in our image library. So if if you're looking for something, we can help you there. And then, better subject lines. So, again, trying to use those 5, tips that we gave you. Definitely download that 50 holiday subject lines guide. It's excellent. Gives you, a little more detail and, more examples. So, even if you don't use one exactly, it, might give you a thought, and then you can kind of tailor it to your business and go from there. And then lastly, events. So, plan an online or in-store event or both. This is the best season really for events. So, again, set yourself apart. Shop local, incorporate all of these great things about small businesses and hold an event for your customers. Get the word out online, so hit those points, the teasers, the invitations, the reminders, the follow-up. Make sure you document all of these events well and be posting online during and after. And then lastly, enhance the experience. So, don't just have a sale, maybe have a sale with hot chocolate or, again, a ladies' night with wine, or, do something to set it apart and really make it fun and memorable for your customers, because word of mouth, whether it's in person or online, is still the greatest strength that almost any business has. So make it something worth mentioning, something that they're going to go to their friends and say, gosh, I had this great time. So definitely enhance the experience.
Yep, and through social, email, and events, if you even pick one of each of these, it's a great way to try something new and really just maximize your marketing and really boost those holiday sales.
Yep.
All right, so here we are, finally, our last slide, which is going to be our questions. So if you do have any questions, don't hesitate to type those into the chat now. I saw a lot come in from, our existing subscribers, just a ton of different questions, so we will get to those in just a second. If you're not already a subscriber of SnapRetail, don't panic. It is only 30 days until Small Business Saturday. Oh my gosh. And only 59 days until Christmas. I think that means I can start playing my Christmas Pandora, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'll get through Halloween. But, don't panic. We really do make online marketing easy, and we have tools to help you with online marketing, with social media marketing, email marketing, as well as, websites, e-commerce, and things along that line. So your free resources are in the chat. And after this webinar is over and you close out, you're going to go to a page. It's going to ask you if you want to schedule a tour with SnapRetail. We've got a lot going on right now. We're a small business too. We understand that you're busy, but you can schedule a quick call with one of our account managers, and they can walk you through any questions that you may have, as well as some promotions that we do have happening for our Small Business Saturdays too. So with that being said, we're going to jump into the questions here because we've got a lot coming in. Again, thank you so much for attending. If you have to jump off, because I do know we just took 30 minutes of your time, we thank you, but we will be sending an on-demand recording of this as well. So if you got to jump off, no worries, but we'll stay on and answer questions for as long as needed.
Yeah, we had several people ask about that. So yes, we will send the recording, afterwards, and actually in the email we'll also have links to both resources as well. So those Pinterest tags as well as the 50 holiday subject lines guide. So that will all come to you in an email later this afternoon.
All right, so first question here from Wendy. She's saying, where would you recommend to link if your company does not do e-commerce with in regards to Pinterest, that click-through link? So I would say your website, definitely. A contact page on your website where someone could email you or give you a phone call or fill out a contact form if they had questions about the product. You can even include that in your Pinterest description. Say, call our store or email our store if you're curious about this product. If you don't have a website, I'm going to really encourage you to get a website first, but in that same breath, I'll say, send them to your Facebook page where hopefully you're posting regularly about your product, about your store, about your staff, and things along those lines. So no worries if you don't do e-commerce, because that's a beast in itself, but you can always drive people to that contact page or to a social media channel that is being regularly updated.
Right. And actually, Janet had a question relating to that same exact thing, and she said, if you are doing e-commerce, should that Pinterest link go to their general website or directly to the product, page itself? And I think I actually alluded to this earlier. It really should go right to the product. So, when someone is coming from Pinterest, they're usually in that shopping mindset, anyway. They see the product and they want to know where to buy it. How do they get it? So have that click-through link go directly to the product on your site, sort of one click to buy. Make that conversion as simple as possible.
Alrighty, a couple questions here from Ronnie. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. But asking about the best way to promote a business name change as well as changing locations. So hopefully you have an email list of your clients, your customers. I would say, send an announcement. It's an exciting thing, obviously this is hopefully a change for the best. So I would just, send an email announcement and almost follow the same guidelines of that event, do teaser posts and then actually do, an event invite, hey, we are having a grand opening with this new name and this new location. And then follow up as well, so that brand recognition begins because it's in front of your audience. But also, not just through email marketing, you need to change your social profiles so that your name is represented correctly. You also need to, change any sort of profile details like your About Us. In your About Us, you can have formerly known as blah, 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 but, now we've got our name changed and kind of just explain that. But yes, be posting regularly about it, and I would follow the kind of those 4 structure points of the event guidelines.
Absolutely. The only thing I would add is also make sure on Google that your business location is up to date, because a lot of people are just going to type in the name looking for you, the new name or the old name. So I would just update, all of that information, make sure it's ready to go. We have a question here from Drucy, and they're asking, when you do a Buy Now button as your call to action, can you have them come into the store to pick it up? And if so, how do they pay for it? How does that sort of email, e-commerce option work? So great question. There are different levels of e-commerce, I would say. So some stores have a full e-commerce website. Maybe they're using Shopify or another provider to really offer, a ton of products online. But there's much simpler solutions. So for example, for SnapRetail, we have an integration just with PayPal. So you could put a product into your email, have it linked with a business PayPal account for you, and just have customers pay that way. So, they could just, almost everyone has a PayPal account. If they don't have one, they can actually still pay you through PayPal, which is nice. So they could just put that money right to your PayPal account, and then you could shoot them an email and say, hey, this product is ready for pickup tomorrow, or whatever, and go ahead and do that. So that is very popular for our customers who just want to offer a few items for e-commerce, or maybe they want to offer services or gift cards, certainly around the holidays. If you're not selling gift cards online, that is a great email to send out and one that you'll certainly get engagement on. So yeah, great question. I would just use a simple PayPal integration and go ahead and do it that way. And if that's something that you're just sort of thinking about, you have never done before, definitely work with us. We have a marketing guru that can walk you through that, help you get it all set up, and that sort of thing. So let us know if we can help.
Yeah, and getting your feet wet with gift cards is
Absolutely.
what I always recommend. Or services. Something that's not tangible and doesn't need shipping and handling.
Clearly.
So quick question here from my girl Mickey asking about Tip Tuesday.
Yep.
So that's actually a program that we recently launched at SnapRetail. We send a free guide or resource every week. And Mickey, I will make sure you're on it. I'm shocked you're not already on it, but I'll double check for you.
Yeah, and if anyone else wants to be on Tip Tuesday and you're not receiving it, just go ahead and throw your email into the chat and I'll make sure that you get on there, no problem at all.
And then we have a couple questions here about Facebook ads. So I could talk about Facebook ads for a 3-part webinar series, each an hour long, because they are so in-depth. And that's why we wanted to give you a quick, easy tip of just boosting your posts, for even $5, because that is the most simple Facebook ad. In regards to if you're a local business and should you be targeting your own audience versus targeting a new audience, I would say, for $5, try both. Take your post, boost it for $5 to your existing likes. Obviously, those are people that wanted to hear more from you, so that's a great audience. But you can also try boosting it to see, if new people like it, based off of something as simple as zip code. That's always my favorite as you're starting out with Facebook ads, because if you have that zip code, you have a chance of walking into a brick and mortar store versus going off of someone's interest. You can target ads based off of hey, they already liked a page, maybe it's of your competitor, or it's a certain interest. Back to Mickey who has the dance shop. If they like Capezio on Facebook, a dance shoe, obviously she wants that person because she sells Capezio. So things along those lines are more broad. If you are brick and mortar, I would say zip code plus an interest is going to get you the best group of people for that small amount of money. But, it's all trial and error. I wish that there was a magic formula. Unfortunately, there isn't. But for that small amount of money, don't hesitate to try it, to your existing likes and to new people as well, based off of that targeting.
Yep. So Jennifer has a question, sort of about that targeting. We talked about both for emails and we've been talking about with Facebook ads and different stuff. And she asked, can you get the subscriber's location if you don't, have this info, if they didn't provide that info on the sign up? Unfortunately, there's really not an easy way to do that. I mean, what I would say is if you are using an email collection form, on your website, on your Facebook page, where people are able to subscribe to your list, make sure you at least have maybe city, state, or zip code, as part of that form. Maybe don't even make it required. I wouldn't make them put their full address because that's sort of a barrier to getting people to sign up. But, ask them for a little bit of geographic information so that you do have that right off the bat, and can utilize that then for your marketing efforts. For your existing list, you could always, sort of send an email out and say, hey, we're trying to make our content more relevant for you. Do you mind providing it? But that's going to be a little bit of a manual process, or you're going to have to send them, back to the form to almost resubscribe, type of thing. So, again, there's not a super easy way to sort of go back. It's more about, I would have those forms set up so that you get it right off the bat.
All right, I have a question here from Adam about what is the best way to get engagement on customer reviews. So I would recommend using an application called Canva, CANVA. .com. It's free, and it's a great way to take those reviews that you may have from all over the web and turn them into images. They have a lot of different layouts for quotes. People are visual, so for example, if you Google SnapRetail, We actually have a 5-star rating, which is pretty amazing. Brush our shoulders off over here a little bit. But, so we take those reviews all the time and make them into pretty images using those templates. Because just to look at reviews, there's obviously credibility there, but when we make them more visual and share those on social media, we get such better engagement. We also, within SnapRetail, if you're a SnapRetail subscriber, have email templates that are asking for reviews on Google. Sometimes it's nice just to remind your audience, especially if you have a segmented list of VIPs, hey, if you review us, it really helps us out. And we have templates that, will walk you through that exact process and walk your customers through that process so that they can leave a review. But I guess my number one suggestion would be try to make those reviews visual and share those on your social media platforms, because it's a great way to catch someone's eye a little more than the normal review and get some engagement on it.
Yeah. I mean, also, if you offer an incentive, for a review or something like that, that's a great thing. I know, a local chiropractor, I was going to, it's like if you, gave them a review, you got all of these entries to try to win a massage, or something like that. It was simple, but it got me to go and leave them a Google review. So sometimes just a very small incentive like that, maybe a little discount or something, can work as well.
Yeah, and that website, again, was Canva, CANVA.com. I'll type it in the chat, too, in case I'm murmuring. Brian always complains that I murmur and he can't understand what I'm saying, so it'll be in the chat, too.
All right, our next question is from Diane, and this is excellent. She said, what is a good place to find what is trending? Because we said it's great to do subject lines that are trending. On social media, it's always nice to tie into hashtags and things that are trending, but, where do you find that information? So, I mean, really, there's so many places, Diane. I mean, if you do jump onto Facebook and just sort of look at the right-hand side of your home feed, your news feed, it'll tell you what's trending. It'll actually show you what hashtags are being talked about right then. You can do the same thing with Twitter. I think it's on the left-hand side of Twitter when you log in, but it will also show you, what hashtags are trending, what conversations are going on, and what are people talking about right now. But it doesn't even necessarily have to be like an officially trending topic. What news stories are going on, what television shows are on right now. At this moment, it's like what Halloween movies, Hocus Pocus, like, what can you play into that is just sort of popular right now? So, you could get those ideas, like I said, from online, from television, from what people are talking about in the store, and mentioning. It really can be anything. It doesn't have to be some.
Yeah, and listen to your customers, because they are the person that you obviously want to make a purchase. So, for example, if Brian and I are your target audience, yeah, talk about Game of Thrones, because that's our thing. But, that's not going to be the same thing that my mom wants to hear. So ask yourself, who is your target audience? And then, what are their interests and what's popular right now? You are the expert in your industry. If you are, a dance store, you know way more about dance than I ever will. I can teach you about online marketing, forever, but you're still going to be the expert in that industry. So, reflect on what's cool and what's popular, and that can really help you figure out what to talk about too.
Absolutely.
2 quick questions here from Geraldine. Is there another seminar on SnapRetail with Pinterest? Yes, I believe if you go to our resource center, we have 20 pins and when to share them. It's a Pinterest cheat sheet, and it's going to be me and Brian again, so you're going to have to listen to us again. But I love that webinar because, again, we're giving you 20 actionable things.
Yep.
Like, you can pin this right now, and it's going to help you. So that's SnapRetail.com, and if you go to the resource center, I think it's going to be one of the first ones there.
Yep.
And then also, Geraldine is asking, she's a subscriber, and she wants to change the color of the buy button from the product widget. Yes, you are able to do that. If you click on the product widget, it's going to open that widget to the left-hand side, and it's towards the bottom. It's under all of the, title, description, price, things like that. There is going to give you an option. You can change that buy button color as well as the font. It can say something other than buy now too. I work with a beater, and she has classes all the time, so her buttons always say book now because they're for classes or whatnot. So yes, you have the availability to edit and adjust any of those buttons, the colors, and what they say.
All right, and the last question we have right now is from LaDonna, and she said, can you tell me a place to go to find out how to Pinterest and Twitter? I love how she said that. Yeah, so I mean, there are many resources that you could find online, and again, Zoe mentioned our resource center. That is a great place to go. I know that we have guides, for these different. We actually have a Pinterest ebook and different stuff like that. But if you are serious about it, again, I would recommend coming on board with SnapRetail and working with that marketing guru again, because that way, they're going to have one-on-one meetings with you and really walk you through those platforms even outside of the Snap system. Make sure you understand them, go over best practices on how to use them. So, even if, just for the next couple of months, you work with them one-on-one and get that experience, I think that would be the best way to learn. But certainly if you just want to read up a little bit, on your own, check out our resource center and see what's available there for you.
Yeah, we also have a ton of different videos on our YouTube page. So if you go to YouTube and just search SnapRetail, we'll give you some other, I believe they're all under 3 minutes. So it's not as in-depth. It's not going to be that one-on-one conversation that Brian was talking about, but it's a great start. So you can head over to our resource center or view that YouTube page as well. So looks like we've got almost all of our questions. I have one left here from Kim. If we missed your question or you still have a question, type those into the chat now. We did get all of these email addresses for Tip Tuesday, and I will make sure that Brian puts them all in the system. I'll make that his job to do, so that you guys will be subscribed to Tip Tuesday. Last question I'm seeing here from Kim, as any others do come in, just asking, where does the call to action button lead a customer to? For example, she likes the RSVP button from that open house email template we showed. So that button, you get to determine where that person goes. So the RSVP now, in SnapRetail, you would click on that button, and it's going to say click through link. And then you just paste, wherever you want that person to go. So obviously, you want to be as exact as you possibly can. If you want someone to RSVP for an event, you wouldn't want them to just go to your website homepage. You want to send them to where they can RSVP on your website, or you want to send them to the Facebook event where they can RSVP on that Facebook event. You don't want to just send them to your Facebook page. You want to make it as easy as possible. You don't want these people to be sent on a wild goose chase, because that's when you're going to lose your conversions, because people aren't going to click. They don't want to look. You need to make it as easy as possible. But you determine that with that click-through link.
All right, we don't have any other questions coming in at the moment, so we will probably just give it another minute here to make sure. But definitely, I just want to thank you for joining us for our first webinar back in a while. I know we enjoyed it, and I hope that you did too. And more importantly, that you got a couple good tips you can take away and really put to work for your business and boosting sales this quarter, because that's what it's all about.
All right, a question just snuck in here. What is an ideal Facebook post to boost? So great question. I would say you don't want to just boost a post that is a fleeting item. For example, the post that I would boost, say you get a new shipment of Vera Bradley, you carry Vera Bradley in your store, and you have a picture of all the boxes, you are unpacking, and there's all of these, Vera Bradley totes everywhere. That's a great post to boost, because you're saying, hey, we've got this in stock, come to our store, and B, this is something that's exciting, and it's new, and it's relevant. So I would not say if you're doing an event, I would say boost, any information about that event. But for example, if you go to SnapRetail's Facebook page, today is National Pumpkin Day, woo! And one of our friends here at SnapRetail, he actually carved a pumpkin with our logo in it, and it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. So of course I had to take it outside, take a picture, in the leaves and yada, yada, yada for National Pumpkin Day. Well, National Pumpkin Day is 24 hours long. And although we're building our brand because it has our logo on it, it's really fun. It's behind the scenes of what we do here. It kind of is our brand personality. That's not something that's necessarily going to help us, and help you guys with online marketing. That's not one of our guides. That's not one of our webinars. So those, casual one-off fun posts are great, and they build that brand personality, and they're so important. But if you are going to start boosting, I would say do something that you can see an actual conversion. Someone could click somewhere, someone could buy somewhere, someone can subscribe or RSVP. It's got that call to action to it that you can see, hey, did this work? Did that $5 boost help or not do anything at all?
All right, Elaine had a question here. She said, any suggestions for building our email list? Great question, and really the best way to build that list, Elaine, is if you are brick and mortar, it's still your checkout process. So make it part of checking out, train your employees on it, and if you can, provide an incentive for signing up for the list. So that way, when a customer comes up to checkout, the employee can just sort of say, hey, have you signed up for our email list? You're going to get coupons, you're going to get all the special offers and news and announcements and stuff like that. We're not going to email you more than once a week or once a month. Set that expectation so the person isn't nervous you're going to spam them like crazy. And then add that incentive so that the employee can just say, oh, and you're going to get 5% off this purchase or 10% off this purchase. Because what an easy decision for the customer now. They're going to get coupons from you. It's not going to be more than once a month, and they're going to save on that purchase. So make it a no-brainer, and also make it easy for the employee to have that conversation, so that they're not uncomfortable, asking for emails, because sometimes that is almost like a privacy thing. If you're online only or really either way, you also want to have forms on your website, so have clear indications. Sign up for our mailing list. Same thing, name the benefits, name the cadence or how often you're going to send, and also have a sign up on your Facebook page. I would have a form for people basically everywhere that you can to make it as easy as possible.
All right, a question here from Kelly. She says, so ... we don't have a website.
Oh, no.
I just love that phrasing because I totally know that. Like,
yeah,
oh my gosh, I'm panicked.
We get it.
You do post on Facebook and Instagram, and you email your customers, which is awesome, awesome, awesome. But where to start with a website? I will really encourage you to look at SnapRetail because our website solution is so simple and so easy, and you really get to be in control of your website. I talk to small business owners all the time. They're like, we went to this ad agency or we got this contractor and it was, $3,000 up front, and every time we want to get a change, it's another $100, $200, and they have to email back and forth. They're not in control. With SnapRetail, you are in control of your website, what you post, and it's the exact same editor as the email editor. So how it is so easy to just drag and drop, here's an image, here's a line, here's a coupon, here's whatever, you can do that through the SnapRetail website editor too. So I definitely say go to SnapRetail.com and look at our website feature. And when we close out of this webinar, again, you're going to go to a Get Started page. I love our account manager team, of course, but they're great and they're happy to just walk you through. Even 10 minutes is all it really takes just to see if it would be a good fit for you. And again, it takes like 5 minutes to get set up, and in SnapRetail, it's not like it's a difficult process. So you could be working on your website in like 30 minutes.
Right, and they'll give you a free trial. If you want to try it out and play around with the website feature, they'll get you all set up so you can, make sure it has the functionality and ease of use that you need. So absolutely, fill out that Get Started. It won't be high pressure. They're just going to reach out and say, want to talk about your small business.
They're going to say,
and
sup.
Yeah, they're going to say, what's going on?
We hear you don't have a website.
Exactly.
Awesome. All right, so it doesn't look like we have any more questions. Again, thank you so much for attending. We could talk for hours. You guys were such a great audience. We will be sending this on-demand recording out later this afternoon or early tomorrow. Please don't hesitate to talk to those account managers and ask them any more questions. Thanks again, and have a wonderful holiday season.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.